If you ever thought that the market was going to go down and then publicly said that to people, boy, don't you feel like an idiot. Go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button, folks. Welcome back to another episode of Live Trading. Stop me if you've heard this before, but we get a data print this morning and the market is ripping higher. It does look like it's going to be a risk on day. We're going to go ahead and break it down. Let's get this party started.
Welcome to Benzinga Live Trading.
Let's see if this actually kind of comes back.
Way out of control, got way too high.
All right. Hey, I will take that. I will absolutely take that.
Good morning, everybody, and happy Thursday, and welcome back to another episode of Live Trading. You know, sometimes you folks will start the show and you'll be like, you guys were late. You guys were late. And we weren't actually late because we had to start the show when pre-market prep ended. But today, you folks were right. So go ahead and take your victory lap because Ryan was a little slow getting the show started today. And Ryan was a little late. So you folks are right about that. All jokes aside, it is great to see a whole bunch of people coming back here. Absolutely love it. Oh, man, we got a pop-in chat here. There's so many people saying good morning that I can't even run through and individually say good morning to you. So entire chat, we love to see you here. Welcome back. The one thing I will say before I bring 13 on, trade the pool in the chat with us today. And let's all put our hands together and thank them because we have a little bit of a surprise coming. We got Alyssa in the back getting ready to help out. It's going to be fun. Now, let's get down to brass tacks and bring on 13. 13, how are you doing today?
Well, good morning. And good morning, everybody in chat. I'm doing really well.
Okay. I'm doing really good. Hey, look at this. Mighty Soldiers, best show on the interwebs. You, right. By the way, thanks, get a Chewbacca roar for using the interwebs term. Anytime someone does that, I smile. Andy, you're putting smiles on faces here today. Oh. You just love to see it. You love to see it.
Yeah, it is this V recovery, man. Makes me nervous. Lord of the Rings. Actually, it's a Neil shirt. You recognize this, right?
Oh, yeah. Yes, I do. Oh my God.
I do love Lord of the Rings.
Chris. You know what's funny about that is that I actually missed out on some of those pretty sweet Neil shirts when we had them. I'm a little disappointed at that.
I got another one with Joel on it too.
Oh, all right. All right. Jay Harris saying, Ryan, I made money on Lily. Dude, Lily has been a great I know I didn't trade that yesterday, which kind of sucks because that was a good deal. But Jay Harris, super glad you made some money on that. Let's ring that register. Jay's life, yo. Yeah. I'll get the morning started like that. That's how we get some energy up in this piece.
Hey, Bourne's got my shirt too. Nice. But yeah, yesterday that GNL that was getting some movement in the morning. That actually ended up ripping in the afternoon.
It did.
That
21.
Was awesome. It got back up to the 2180, I believe, is the high it went to.
Yeah.
So right back up to that consolidation area.
So I'll bring up the SPY here. We'll start with this, but I think I'm on to something now, folks. I really do. I think I'm on to something. I think what happens here is that whatever SPYs are out there just kind of lurk in the chat. And then when we come up with plays here that we get into, like GNLN is a perfect example of that. It has some chop in the morning and they just kind of F around. And then as soon as the show ends, they're like, okay, the show's over. Time for these things to rip in the after. How many times have we seen it? So one of the things that I'm going to be doing, we won't be on air to do this with you, but I want to tell you some of the things that I'm doing so you can do this too. Any of the stocks that we are taking a look at here this morning, I'm basically going to be taking notes on the side, whether it's in Pro or in my little notepad area in Slack or even just on pen and paper on the desk. And I'm going to note down all of the different tickers that we're talking about in the morning. And then after lunch, I'm just going to kind of roll through them and I'm going to see if anything has changed, in particular with the volume and then also any of those price key levels. Because if you do this, to be able to see that some of those that we talk about in the morning maybe have kind of a choppy or head fake morning, sometimes while they fake me out of them. But in the afternoon, you end up getting the outsized moves. So what we're going to do is we're going to try and capture those better moves and increase profits that way. So just a little thing that I'm kind of thinking about here. Now, let's talk about the SPY here real quick. We got, 22 minutes before we open. Got a lot of movers here today, so let's run through them. First here with the SPY, we did close. Did we get a close above, let's say 430? No. So we did not get a close above the 50-day yesterday. It was just below. It was pretty much right on it though. However, today with the data print in the morning, the jobless claims in the morning, we are gapping above that and we are gapping above the trend line. So the two things that I really want to see here, do we close here or do we pull back? Worth noting about the position, by the way, SQQQ, one of those positions that I was trading, it just bad timing, simply got stopped out of that. But remember, one of the things that we've learned here is add that small so you're never really taking a big loss in case that doesn't work. Frank, if you're out there, first of all, thank you for joining Trader TV yesterday during my spot. Thank you for the support. You had mentioned in chat, hey, I think Ryan's been buying SQQQ since 17. Yes, as the market was trading up, I'm trying to trade the contrarian holding so we can get some big moves off that. But as mentioned a number of times on this show by not just me, but 13 and everybody else, some of these ETFs, especially the levered ones, not something that you should necessarily be holding overnight unless your timing's really, really good there. So a lot of the times we're trying to trade some of those assets that might pop. Always important to have a stop. That's part of the rules that we've talked about from the very beginning. Okay, 13. As far as SPY goes, what levels do you have?
The ones that are getting destroyed. So
well said.
So yeah, that the candle we had yesterday, that was a hanging man, and that usually indicates that in an uptrend that that's a bit of a reversal candle. I mentioned yesterday that despite these bearish signals that we're getting, they're just getting obliterated the next day. Look at we tried to close above the 50-day SMA, and we didn't get that. Market doesn't care. Retail sales come in. Walmart does great, and jobless claims come in lower than expected. Hey, we're going higher now. So what we've also done is broke that downtrend that we've been kind of trading into since we peaked back in what was this, July, middle of July, yeah, the 16th, when we put the all-time highs in. So if you have that trend line that goes from the all-time high through the 1st of August, you'll see that we are over that trend now. So we're breaking out there. As far as levels go next, we've pretty much got previous all-time highs and 555 to get through. Now 555, that was an interesting level on the 1st of August because that's where the market traded up to and then was rejected. That started the whole downside. So we're testing 555 again. Could break out of that and go up higher. Jay Rice, I'm not bullish. I'm still bearish. I think this is not healthy for the market. We did get sort of a correction, but I don't think it was nearly enough that we needed because we have been absolutely ripping since October. And I don't think this is that almost 10% move that we got was enough, but higher we go. But September is just around the corner, and there are some things that happen in the beginning of September. We also have a potential spike in the VIX coming, as one has happened every election year going back to the beginning of this millennium. So there's some things that are coming up that might indicate reversal, but until then, it's just more upside.
Speaking of that VIX spike, are you positioning for that yet, or is that something that you're just kind of watching and waiting in the weeds for?
A little bit of both.
Okay.
Just being slow, taking time, and because I don't want to get too heavy into it if I'm on the wrong side of it, you know? Right.
You don't want to be too early on that because that can end up hurting. I want to time that right. Okay. Well done there. So that's it here for the SPY.
Could I answer Spiro Bill's question? Because he was asking what are the chances that Pershing's bought Nike on the very last day of the quarter. I'd imagine at this point we would have probably seen some other filings about that. I really can't give you a great answer on this. You're just going to have to look and see what the SEC filings show. But if he did take a 20% drop, then he bought it too early. I don't think that he did that. I think it dropped and then he got into it. That would be my guess. I'm just going to call it a guess because I really don't have a good answer to give you on that.
I'll tell you what, that activist news has been pretty good recently for some of these stocks here. We saw that on Starbucks and Nike and a couple others. So
and then Berkshire Hathaway just with the F13F that we just got yesterday. What was the company? They just got into, I think it was Ulta Beauty.
Ulta, yeah. We talked about it too.
Yeah. So 13Fs. Tim Melvin, you're a gem.
And speaking of 13Fs, Amanda here this morning. Good morning. I'm looking for the Buffett disclosed sold stocks to make a bigger than average drop. I'll be keeping an eye on that for deals today. Amanda, let us know what those tickers are that you're seeing. That would be awesome stuff here for the group.
I can tell you real quick what a couple
well
of them
here,
are.
while you're getting that list together, let me cover Jay's Life. Want to take a look here. I'm in on ASML. Let's take a look at that, because one of the things I just said here with the Walmart earnings here, we might have a day where it's going to be risk on. Stay focused. If you're out there, shout out. I know you were up early looking at these and kind of saying the same thing here. So big shouts to you. ASML here, Jay. This is I'm a big fan of where this chart's at right now. We have been talking a lot recently about the 200-day and how important that's been. We have a number of examples that show that the stocks are really good when they recapture or bounce off that 200-day. Here's an example where it clearly had some resistance when it was trying to retake it, but several days later, they've taken this out here. I think as long as we stay above 876, I think we're probably in pretty good shape. I think this could be a risk on here today. So, Jay, if it's not too much trouble, Jay, let me know what your plan is here in terms of time horizon, and then maybe any key levels that are going to affect your trading decisions here. I like this setup, especially for today. Okay. Did you want to roll through those? Do we want to do the movers? What do we want to do? We got about 15 minutes left here.
I'll just mention the two that I see from the headline here, that Berkshire Hathaway, when he added Ulta Beauty in the 13F, they also mentioned that they completely exited Snowflake and Paramount Global.
Okay, so really quickly here, Ulta, you could make an argument that this is in fact at a support level. So we'll see here on Ulta. This did move up to its 50-day. What are we at here? 370. So yeah, so this candle here is being drawn incorrectly. We'll see when it recaptures that. You said all out of snow, right? That was the other one here?
Snowflake and Para.
Well, let me ask you real quick. Chat, either 13 chat or an amalgamation of all of that. Do you think we have a short coming up here on snow? Especially if we break one of these levels right here, like 111, 112?
I don't think I know enough about the company to.
No problem. Just throwing it out there for a potential idea on the Buffett, on the position changing around here.
So maybe with the earnings coming up, you could see this upward momentum continue into that, and then earnings could, hamper it depending on how that looks. But I don't know. If you're going to trade this, I don't know that I'd hold it into earnings. I just don't know enough about the company. I haven't looked at enough research.
Okay, let's go ahead and roll through those movers here. We got a full house here today. We got a lot of stuff that we got to get through, and I'm liable to start going on rants and then forgetting about some of that, and I don't want to do that. So we're going to start here with the movers. First one's going to be Cing. That's going to be CING. Charlie, Indigo, November, Golf. This is Cingulate. Cingulate shares trading higher after the company was granted European patent number 3261625. Be sure to remember that. For CTX 1301, its lead asset for the treatment of ADHD. Okay, so it looks like we're popping here on Cing. 550 seems to be your top. We retraced 50% of the stick, which seems to be about normal. And now we're starting to curl back up. Really, the next mile marker here for me is, do we take this VWAP out, right? We've seen a number of these stocks that do curl back up, find significant resistance at the VWAP, and are unable to get above that. This is a lot of where we've come up with this, hey, don't buy breakouts, buy weakness, because it seems to work more often. We'll see here on Cing. Let's let this one set up, but that's what's going on here. 13, did you have anything on this name?
Yeah, moving on that patent news, they have 764,000 shares in the float. They do have a 13% short interest, but that's only because they just recently did a 1-for-12 reverse split on August 9th. So recent reverse split and getting some attention. This could be a pretty decent mover. Now, as far as upside levels go, we do have that 556 high that we made in pre-market. That's going to be one of the earliest things we want to get over, aside from the VWAP, which it's currently trying to make a move on at the moment. After 556, then we're going to be looking at 620 and 665 for the next upside targets, and it could go as high as 760. There's other upside targets we can talk about there, but let's see if it can even get into that 7 handle.
Okay. Next here is going to be VSME. This is VS Media Holdings. Saw this pop yesterday, pop again here in the pre-market. I don't see any news on this, so this kind of feels like maybe one of those pumps, maybe one of those FinTwit names, something going on here. Anyway, no news catalyst for this one. Ticker VSME, float of about 2.2 million on average. Stock trades 311,000 shares today. We've already traded 18 million. 13, what do you think on this one?
2.2 million shares in the float. They did a 1-for-7 reverse split on June 18th. Other than that, just looking at the chart right now, it's really accelerating away from VWAP, which we don't want to see. But this could be one of those stocks where it just opens lower. It's just going to drain into the open, and then as soon as we open, we're going to start to see it recover and push back up. So this might be just something you have to wait for it to turn around or show that it is turning around. I wouldn't start getting excited about it down here. There's a lot of EMAs crossing each other to the downside here. So at the moment, it doesn't look great, but let's see what happens after we open. We'll just keep this on our radar. VWAP is still up in the 135 area, and we're trading down close to $1.
Okay, good stuff there. Next here, where's Glenn? Where's Glenn? Because Airship is back. It is taking off, one might say. Ticker AISP. Airship AI Holdings here popped above 360, holding here at 320. Catalyst Airship AI Holding shares are trading higher after the company reported year-over-year increase in Q2 financial results. So we're getting a pretty decent PR here about ticker AISP. This is trading higher. We've seen this one trade higher before. We've traded this a number of times on the show. What do you think here on Airship 13?
Yeah, those earnings really got the stock moving. It's got 8.28 million shares in the float. They have a short interest of 11.44%. The problem I have with this one is that when I looked at their balance sheet and I saw how much cash they're eating every quarter, they need to raise cash. So this is one to be careful with. They could make that offering today, or they could make it tomorrow. It could be very, very soon, especially if this pushes up. You might see that halt come, and they might release more shares. This is one that I think we all should exercise a little bit of caution on, because they do need to raise money, and we saw what happened with GNL. So just keep that in the back of your head. It still has to get some cash on their balance sheet again. It's trading beneath VWAP. It's kind of going sideways at the moment. This would be one to wait and see what happens at the open. But if we do start trading up, VWAP's going to be the first stop, and then the 369 high that we put in the pre-market would be the next level.
And to your point here, this company has 1.7 million of cash on hand, and guess what? Last quarter they burned 1.7 million. So definitely have a cash issue going on here. I think that warning's pretty good. We've been doing a really good job of highlighting some of those warnings. Here's your daily chart. Someone made a joke yesterday about having to go to the hospital because of trying to catch all of the falling knives and all the cuts they were getting. Well, hey, maybe you want to wait on AISP here, because it looks like that's what's going on. All right, next here is going to be Cyto, ticker CYTO. This is Altamira Therapeutics. This did pop as high as 160, retraced more, almost 80% of that of the move. We haven't had news since Monday. Okay, we haven't had news since Monday, so it looks like this is just kind of a delayed reaction, probably some type of FinTwit thing. You got anything? Did you even cover CYTO here today?
No, I didn't, but I can just tell you that they have a 2.65 million shares in the float. Their cash position is very small. I don't have any kind of indication of what kind of income they're getting. So a lot of question marks in this one. I think this is probably why I didn't even cover it, because there's just not a lot of information on this one. So be careful. So I'm not even have this up in my chart. Maybe I'll just put it on here, and I'll give you some levels later, but this is not one that I covered.
No problem. Real quickly here, I'm just going to get these out of the way. Walmart, this reported earnings. This is one of the things that's telling us that's risk on. Jay, I saw your comment earlier. Walmart kind of telling you that maybe the consumer is not totally stressed, although I think that kind of goes back and forth. Also, Walmart might be one of those where consumers trade down to. So a consumer that maybe didn't shop a lot at Walmart is now shopping at Walmart because they're under pressure. So some things to consider here, but nonetheless, a really good report. Walmart trading higher. That's what's going on here. I did. Sorry, did you have something? Sorry, I can't.
Well, because like we talked a little bit about how some of these grocery stores, they're probably going to be okay, and maybe they'll end up doing better, just because the consumer is still going to need to get some products from somewhere. And, we talked about how Costco could be really good for that. Walmart's going to be another place. But, some of these, but we've also talked about how restaurants are just absolutely getting hammered. So I think when we look at CPI, we see that food at home is doing better than food away from home. I think that result is reflected in the way these stocks are moving. We have restaurants not doing as well, but Walmart, Costco, they're doing great. So I think that's, we just need to kind of consider that when we're looking at these companies.
Okay. Really good stuff there. Daniel from the chat says, well, what about Kroger?
Yeah, that should be fine too. But like, what is going on with them? Like, they had a pretty good run in June. They're rolling over now. I don't know why, but I think it's going to be the bigger stores like Walmart and Costco that are going to do the best. Kroger could still do okay, but I don't have enough on this company to know how well they're operating.
I'll say my personal experience with Kroger is poor, but that doesn't mean anything for the stock. By the way, they report in September, right? September 9th, I think that was. So the beginning of September. Okay. The next one that I wanted to cover here real quick is going to be GOVX, and this is going to lead into the next one that we're talking about. We had some news recently about monkeypox. Not necessarily going to get into the disease itself. I'm going to focus on the stocks that are generally tied to this. GOVX is one of them. You can see GOVX up here in the pre-market. I actually scalped this in the pre-market here against my better judgment and was able to make some money off that. Say, what was that, 13?
Nice.
Okay. So GOVX, this is actually up here. We might get some more play here today, but there is another monkeypox play that we should talk about, and that's going to be Saiga. Now, Saiga yesterday had a huge run. Really big shout out to Benzinga Pro, the news desk, Charlie, and anyone else that is involved in getting that information out, because you can see this was when we squawked about this whole monkeypox stuff. This had a scalp opportunity just off the squawk alone. Then it pulled back to the VWAP and bounced hard off the VWAP. I mean, when you get stuff like that, this is the type of thing when I've told people, like, look, Squawk is one of the best tools in pro. This is why, is because you can have no idea something like this is coming. And then all of a sudden, boom, you got a trade. If you book some gains, when the thing pulls back, you got another opportunity. You can use profit for that. I mean, just the whole setup here is real good. Saiga and GOVX moved. Now, unfortunately here, again, one of the reasons why we talk about not holding some of these stocks overnight, because you expose yourself to all types of different risks, whether it's offering data or otherwise. We got some of that here today. Saiga technology shares are trading lower after the National Institute of Health's National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Disease, boy, that's a mouthful, announced top-line results from a preliminary analysis of the Palm 007 trial of some drug I can't pronounce for monkeypox virus did not meet its primary endpoint. So here you go. One of the stocks that's associated with this actually had data come out, and bam, we are down 40% here on Saiga. Now, I can't tell you for sure which direction this stock's going to move. But if you want to trade this, I'd actually watch this range, right? Watch this bottom, call it 7. You want to do 670 here as a dead drop, fine. And then maybe upside here, 8. If it breaks one of those, then you can trade it. I could see this doing both, right? I could see this breaking down further. I could see this having a dead cat bounce, then maybe rolling over to the lows and retesting them. So there might still be trading opportunities in this name. But be aware of what's going on here. 13, you have anything on either of these?
I covered GOVX. I wasn't looking at Saiga because it was pretty red. But yeah, GOVX is also going to present at an economic growth symposium, I guess we'll call it. They have 5.2 million shares in the float. They did a 1-for-15 reverse split earlier this year on January 31st. So thought that was interesting. Didn't take a look at their cash position because didn't realize that they were needing to do that reverse split. So maybe they do need to raise cash as well. I can see that they're losing about 5 million shares a quarter, and they have about 1 million on the balance sheet. So GOVX also kind of needing some cash as well. They might do a raise.
Yep. So there you go. Okay. Real quickly here. I think that was it for the movers. You didn't have anything that I didn't cover, did you? No. Okay. So we should be good on the movers. The market is about to open here in just a few minutes. Cool. But I'm going to use this time to remind you that the stream is sponsored by Trade to Pool. So if you need help getting above the 25K day trading threshold or simply need some more dry powder, Trade the Pool is a company that can help you. They're friends of ours. They support our stream. They sponsor us, a bunch of really good guys there. And on top of this, we have a little surprise coming shortly after the open here, courtesy of Trade the Pool. So thank you very much. We'll go ahead and do that shortly after the open. I want to get that morning rush out of the way. Now, let's see. What do we have here for time-wise? Wow, we got it all. We got it out of the way. I had a lot. I wasn't sure we were going to be able to get through it all, and we got 40 seconds until we open here. So get ready. Get ready.
Everybody, let's have a good day.
Yeah, here, actually, you know what I'll do? I'll go over to Trade the Pool right now. Boom, boom, boom. VSCO. Actually, Gil had brought this up earlier. Maybe we'll finish with this. VSCO, this one also interesting here to me, Gil. We did pop above that 200-day. Assuming this can close above that 200-day, maybe we will have a run there. We'll see if it's on deck for a potential day trade today. But daily chart looking pretty good here. 10 seconds till we open. Man, we are really we're close. We're close. Oh, and by the way, I saw a number of people talking about Chipotle. I booked those gains on those calls. So I'm out of that. I would be interested in taking another position, but we'll see. Gains booked. Raise cash any way that you can has been my name of the game. Here we go. One of the stocks I'm watching right out of the gate here is going to be Walmart. We've outlined this trade a number of times. Let's see if we break down or break up, and then back test. If we do, we should be able to trade that.
Looks like GOVX trying to push here.
Okay, let me switch over to GOVX here.
Had dropped out of the gate to the 65 EMA on the 5-minute and turned around, trying to go higher.
It's trying to go above that VWAP. Let's see if we get that above the VWAP. There it goes. We're going to go higher. We're going to pull. Let's see. Does it retake that VWAP? Sorry about that growl. That is not what I intended.
That's okay. You're a Bears fan. VSCO.
Oh! Okay.
VSCO. That was a great call. Had a nice pop out of the gate. Went up to 23.40. That was about where the pre-market high was. So got a little bit of a rejection there. That seems to be, when I draw a line across it, that seems to be about where the price has been getting rejected since pre-market yesterday. This seems like it's near a breakout spot. Watch this one closely. This one could start to push higher.
Okay, I am gonna mark up my Eli. I'm gonna mark up my Lily chart here just a little bit, just because this has been running all the time, or it's been giving us moves all the time, Jay Harris. So we'll see here.
BSME, after that drop down, it's now. After it opened, we're pushing up. It's currently trying to hold above BWAP.
Okay. Okay.
And there goes VSCO. Victoria's Secret. That one's pushing higher now. 23.65. That was a great call. Airship going Hindenburg out the gate. Maybe.
Oh my God, 13. You're full of it here. Good stuff. All good. All good. By the way, VSCO. One of the next levels I see here, 24.5. VSCO. Well, maybe I shouldn't even say that. You were.
Thanks, Ken. I hope you got something out of that.
Airship. Boom.
No, VSME.
No. I'm saying you said Hindenburg. That was the next thing you said. I'm going in order of what you said here. Airship is pulling away from that VWAP there. Haven't seen Glenn yet today, but if Glenn's here, let us know. Let us know, Glenn.
Might get some support between here and 295. So we'll see if.
Oh my God.
Here. What's up?
I'm sorry. Portillo's is up almost 4%. Let me pinch myself and make sure I'm awake. Holy shit, this is real life. I can't believe it's up. All right, well, we'll take that. Costco higher also.
Pushing through VWAP.
Okay. Where I lost my mouse because I'm all excited and jacked up on coffee.
Oh, that reminds me.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. We are actually above the VWAP here.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I might do? Are we going to yank
big
back?
Big wall that it's chewing through. It just took out that wall. Next one is at the 460.
Okay, I'm going to take 100 here. I'm going to try to scale into this real quick. Let's see. You're not even going to come back at all to that VWAP and give me. There we go. Let's see if we come back in here. See, basically what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to, on some of these faster movers, I might try and just scale in 100 shares at a time. And then if it runs with me in there, take some gains and build it up. If it pulls back, to a support level and doesn't break, maybe then kind of lower the price and wait for the next move. And if it just flat out breaks down, I don't have a whole lot and I can just take a small loss and get out. So we'll see here. This is what kind of what I was waiting for. Let's see if this pulls back to the VWAP. Go ahead. I'm sorry, 13.
Airship got down to that range I was talking about, $2.95 to $3, and reversed. So that one is working out really well right now. GOVX also trying to reverse that. Got down to, what was this? 338 it looks like, and turned around. I don't see, I guess there was some of a bit of a level there from pre-market, so that's likely where it's getting that support from. And then I saw one more. Oh, you know what, I got a shout out here. ASTS, you guys have been talking about this one all morning, and we talk about it often. I haven't looked at it, but this is one that I'm filled with regret for not picking up more of when I did. This is the one that's going to be launching that satellite cluster next month, and AT&T and Verizon are investing in this company to take advantage of those satellite clusters to help reach their customers in rural areas. So this is
Sing going. I'm taking, sorry to interrupt you here. Took gains first on Sing. I actually didn't get the pullback to the VWAP that I wanted to reload, but I'm going to get some green on the screen here. Really been struggling with some of the really short-term trades. We're trying to turn over a new leaf here. Green on the screen, 2 for 2 here today, as I was also scalping GOVX in the morning. Okay, sorry about that. Now that I'm out here, Sing might go higher here. We'll wait for another setup. But now that I'm out here, 13, I can roll through some of those tickers.
Yep, like VSME, that one, that was, man, this was great.
You know what?
Dropped out of the gate, and now it's going right back up above VWAP now. Sorry.
It's okay. I actually was thinking about taking a little bit of Walmart here on the VWAP pullback. I'm a little bit late to it. Actually, hang on, 13. I'm going to blow my nose.
All right, go for it. Sing still trying to hold up here. This one, not sure if we're going to get a breakout or not, but if we do break out, it's going to probably be quite a violent move. We're looking for that 556 high in pre-market to get taken out. So still trying to work its way up there. ASTS down to $23 handle, and VSCO that got as high as 23.79, getting a little pullback right now. It's currently beneath VWAP. What else? GOVX still trying to recover and not able to get back above VWAP yet.
VSCO, keep going. Rodrigo, good morning. Rodrigo, he's out here on Lumen. You talk about this stock all of the time. Lumen pushing out of the gate here. Let's see if it takes out those pre-market highs. Remember, one of the things that we've been talking about with some of these faster day trades, buy the weakness, right? So the entry here looks pretty decent at around this 580 spot. I wouldn't necessarily try to buy the break, but we'll keep an eye out here. Rodrigo, let me know if it does break that pre-market. We'll kind of set up for another one there. Jay Rice, did you guys see my ASTS comments? Were you addressing that when I was blowing my nose there? 13.
No, I don't know if I did.
Okay, I'll go into that then. ASTS, Jay, lot was happening this morning. This moving here out of the gate. Did you see my ASTS trim and trail? Nice buy last night in the 19. So it looks like you were in the after hours here buying it up. This moving here out of the gate. This thing's been an absolute huge mover. This, I think, from our show's perspective, this is probably my biggest miss. Not only did I not swing this, and look at this daily chart, but I didn't even day trade this with you guys. 13, big shout out to you. You were hitting this one a few times. You were on top of this one.
Yeah, but I didn't, re-up on it very well. So I'm still kicking myself over it. I see that Shant wants me to, to cover Clove. Okay, so thank you for not spamming about Clove. I really appreciate that.
As
Clove,
do I.
Clove is not really one of the movers that we like trading, but this does look like it's a good one for investment. So if this is something that you want to put money in and hold it for the long term, that's up to you. And that would probably work out better than just simply like day trading it, because I don't know how long this is going to go on. I look at their financials, and they do have a lot of income. They're making like over 350 million a quarter, but the net income is like only 7 million. And that's like their first positive quarter they've had. So for me, if I was going to get into this for an investment, I'd want to see some more quarters of positive net income to know that they are on the right track. And it seems like they are, but it doesn't move fast enough for me to want to day trade this. This is more of an investment in my eyes. And if it's going to be an investment, I want to make sure that if I'm going to hold this for a period of time, it's going to continue to perform in the way that it showed last quarter. So that's my whole thing on Clove. could be a great company or continue to be a great company. It seems like they're doing pretty well, but I need to see some more proof that they're going to continue to with this momentum they've got going on. That would be my take on Clove.
One more thing that first of all, I think your breakdown there is awesome. And again, I'd like to reiterate, Shant, I really appreciate that you just asked one time and did it nicely instead of spamming the ticker over and over and over again and then insulting people. That's how we get things done around this program. So thank you very much. One more thing to add to what 13 was talking about here. You did what the recent news here was from the 13th. You had a 1 million buy. $1 million worth of a insider buy here. Vivek, one of the directors, ended up buying that. That's likely why this has moved up so much yesterday. It was this actually was pretty decent. It was a slow grind higher yesterday. We're actually pushing a little bit higher here today. If we take a look at the daily chart, you can see the big move we've made here. While I wouldn't chase this move, like 13 was saying, if you like this for an investment, maybe kind of watch and see if you can add this on any of the pullback levels. 215, 210 actually looks like a decent one. Okay, let me flip back over. It looks like we're getting some more movement on some other stuff there. GOVX going to be one of them. Let's check it out.
That a huge pop, and it's coming right back.
And a huge knife. Look at that.
That was, hey, I saw some of you guys talking about GOVX and it was ripping. So hopefully when you were in that, you were making money and you booked those gains. That was a nice move. And it could, come back up there still. I think because of this.
They just took out. Sorry to interrupt you. There was huge size right there at 376 and they just ate it. And it's going lower.
Okay. Well, then this would be just the time to wait for it to set up again. It could set up at the 200 EMA on the 5 minute, which I have currently at 316, 317. So if it gets some support anywhere between here and there, still looking for that 423 level that it put in pre-market to get taken over. So that's going to be the upside target I have on GOVX. Now,
the smoke tuna approach. Now, I don't want to speak for another person, but the smoke tuna approach, one of the things he's been sharing with us is buy weakness. So if you're looking for a GOVX trade, maybe there's an ad to be had here down in a 350 handle. Because that's where the weakness is. Have a plan in case it falls out or moves against you. But again, that upside break, if you had bought that, boy, oh boy, did you have to be quick. And if you weren't, you ended up taking more of a loss than you probably wanted to.
Remember, there's going to be a time issue with this one. They do need to raise cash. And I don't know that we want to, kind of wait for that bottom or try to get that confirmation. I think with this one, we're going to have to be a little bit more vigilant on our trades, especially with the ones that do need to have a lot less cash on their balance sheet than they need. So just take that, into consideration when you're trading these. Holding this for a long time might not be a great move. Airship, I noticed that was really going down as we were talking about Clove, and now it's trying to see if it can find a bottom here. Currently beneath VWAP, looking to I need to see this recapture 3 first.
Okay, we'll see if Airship turns around here.
VSCO, that one got to 2418, still above VWAP. That looks great. That was a great
Sing call. Looks like this is going. So, okay. So it looks like we did try to consolidate right up here. That was, we sold in that first consolidation area. Now it's kind of building. We'll see if it goes higher. My goodness. I have to blow my nose again, 13. Give me 1 sec. I'm going to turn it over to you. All right.
No worries. You know what I think it is, man? I think it might be all that bear fur. But anyway, Sing still trying to push up to that 556 level that made in pre-market. That would be the breakout level it needs to get to. What else are we looking? That's what we're looking. Lumen and Sing. Well, I just mentioned Sing, so Lumen. I'll pull up and take a look at that. Okay, so what's interesting about Lumen right now is this is kind of broadening, and when these broadening wedges happen, it's looking for either a breakout or a breakdown. I really can't tell how the pitch is on this broadening wedge. It seems symmetrical. So it could go up or down in that, violently in that direction. But right now with Lumen, what I'm seeing is a bit of a broadening wedge. Yeah.
Lumen, Lumn. Okay,
that's it. Yeah, it's kind of since the open, it's been broadening, and it's kind of creating a broadening wedge. So I'm just kind of thinking, well, this is going to choose a direction, and when it does, it's going to stick with that direction for a good amount of time.
Okay, glad we ended up not taking that Walmart. That's still holding on to its VWAP. We'll wait this one out. Eli Lilly getting mentioned in the chat. That's been a huge mover for us recently. Looks like this is a little bit lower. We'll see if this pulls back. What is this Lilly level at? Okay, this is basically holding its VWAP level for most of the day yesterday. This breaks down. I think maybe we do come back in towards 900 here. towards 900. Maybe we don't print it, but we come in towards that area on Eli Lilly. Okay. Folks, it's about 15 minutes past the open. I know there's a lot of action here, but we've got a little bit of a surprise. Alyssa, are you there? Are you ready?
I'm here.
Let's
ready.
go. Alyssa, the excitement in your voice right now is really driving
I'm
me
here.
forward.
Woo!
Yeah, it's something else. You're really pumping me up. Okay.
I heard you sipping coffee too, so I know you have the enthusiasm.
Okay. So let me just make sure I get all the stats here so Gil doesn't slap me. Real quick, we have, courtesy of Trade the Pool, we are going to be giving away right now two $20,000 buying power accounts. Okay, two $20,000 buying power accounts. Anyone is able to get these things. Alyssa, will you please present us the wheel?
The wheel. Hold on.
No problem. We will keep looking at stocks while you're doing that. Let me roll through some of the names.
Conga just mentioned PPTA. That is taken off right now. Nice mention. This looks like it's moving up on, I'd say earnings, but
looks thin too.
Yeah. Float is 38, almost 39 million shares.
Put a 1 in chat so I can get names. Sorry.
Okay. Thank you, Alyssa. Alyssa's like, can we get this giveaway done for Christ's sake? Yeah. All right. If you would like to be added, please type 1 in the chat. Market Sniper, Michael Storm, Gene, Paul. Just let's flood the chat with ones. And yes, even Canadians can win. We love our Canadian friends here. Are you kidding me?
We love Canadians.
Yeah. What kind of question is that?
Our neighbors to the north.
All right. One's flooding up here on the chat. Alyssa, you let me know when we've collected enough, let's say, and then we'll go ahead and do that spin. In the meantime, we'll try and track all of these movers that are going on. So just interrupt me if you need to. All right, Alyssa?
Okay.
Woohoo. Alyssa's excitement, man. It's just, it gets me all the time. She's just spectacular. Spectacular, Alyssa. All right. VSME, that was actually just slammed at the VWAP. I actually meant to type, CYTO.
I said Sing might go.
Sing might go. Well, CYTO is also on my scanner, so I got double fooled there.
Oh, man. And Sing is like trying to hold above VWAP and push back up right now. So it comes to the big question mark, but it looks like based on the pattern that's been putting in since pre-market that it looks like it wants to try to retest that 556. Okay.
Louis Zuluaga. That is an awesome name. I am actually jealous. Louis Zuluaga asked to be considered for the prize. Thank you. I got to say, I am extremely impressed with your manners, especially over the internet. This is a rarity nowadays, but for the sake of this, please press 1 so that Alyssa can get your name added. Alyssa, I don't know if you have the ability to add this polite gentleman without him typing 1, but very, very clear what we're doing here. Okay, and then Gil, I appreciate that. Really quickly here, when we select the winners, please take a screenshot of your YouTube profile, and we'll send that over to Gil. We'll give you that email here in a sec. Okay, what else do you? While we're collecting the ones, I love seeing all this interaction from you folks.
That's great.
We're having a great day here already.
Oh yeah. That's a nice movement.
Been live for an hour, and we're just out here. Sing actually might go. By the way, you were right about that. What do you think? 475. What's the spot?
It's 556. We're wanting to get back up to at least. That's for the pre-market high. So if we continue to get this moving up, we might hit that. It's also making a bit of a cup formation, and usually these things will resolve at the very least close to the top they were previously at. Whether or not they break through, I think that depends on the handle that sometimes will come later. But for now, this one looks like it's really trying to push above 475. There's a big wall there.
Yeah.
And if that goes, then we might be able to get our 556.
Okay. That's your spot. Really quickly, just kind of flipping around here. Jay, all you're doing today is just banking money. I love it. Jay, trimming a little bit more ASTS as this continues to trade higher here. I mean, good Lord, this thing, all it does is go up. That's all it does. That's all it does. Tesla is also ripping. You're right, Anthony. We've been flipping around here. We missed some of this here. Tesla, big pop here. 205 ran 6 points from that 205 move.
Yeah, somebody was mentioning about how there was a collaboration between SpaceX and Tesla. They were working together, so same CEO. So it's like, well, okay, but at the same time, they're two different companies. So I guess there's some technology part of Tesla that is being worked on for SpaceX, and SpaceX is paying them, and SpaceX is just raking in money from NASA and other customers that need satellites and whatnot launched into space. They're really firing on all cylinders over at SpaceX, in my opinion. But that news could end up being a really big thing for Tesla, especially since you have both both CEOs of the company are the same person.
Sorry, I was looking at a potential bros swing here. Gerald says keeping Alyssa busy with all these ones. LOL.
Yep.
She highlighted that, so she's obviously got a sense of humor about it.
I finally got that one.
Let's go. Okay, what else?
Also, SpaceX is supposed to launch in their 5th flight test of Starship in I think 3 weeks. Still pending FAA approval, but this attempt, they're going to try to catch the rocket booster with the tower chopsticks, the lifting arms. So that's going to be incredible if they can pull that off.
Your name? A B C D E F G H I J K. Thanks.
I wonder what his last name is. I bet it's LMNOP.
LMNOP. Oh God, laughing a lot here today. Looking at a potential bros swing here. We talked about this on happy hour. Sorry, I'm trying to do two things at once. I'm not great at that. All right, so I'm actually bidding some bros here for a swing in my main account. I like that we're about to maybe take out this 200-day moving average here. We're also in a gap, so I think there's some upside here on bros. I know we haven't closed above the 200-day, which is normally what I'm waiting for. So trying to add small here on the bid. Oh yeah. We will. I got some good news.
What's that?
I got some good news. I just want to make sure, because sometimes when we do stuff live here, I'm a dummy. Okay, Gil confirmed it for me. We're actually going to be giving away 3. So I teased 2 winners. We're going to have 3 winners, and we're not going to have to do anything different. All of you that entered already, you are still entered. GNLN getting mentioned here with a ton of exclamation points. It did sell off out of the open, but took out 16 here. We'll see if this goes higher. Single bye-bye.
Yeah, I didn't do the move. It was getting too much resistance. Fell beneath VWAP, and now wait for a better setup.
I got everyone.
You got everybody. Okay,
Ooh.
Here it is. Gil, thank Michael for us, please. Michael is an absolute gentleman. Please thank him for us. So we're going to select Michael. 3 winners. What's that?
Sorry, thank you, Michael.
Okay, we're going to select 3 winners instead of 2. Where's that wheel at? We need the graphic. Okay.
Wheel. Let me make this bigger. There you go. Look at all those names. Okay.
Look at. Okay. 79 entries here. Let's do it. Here we go. No. First winner. Get ready.
By the way, if you're photosensitive, look away while this spins.
Yeah.
Does it hypnotize you?
Hypnotizes me.
Really mess with your eyes.
Oh, congratulations, stupid idiot.
Okay, stupid idiot. I love that this is the first winner here. I mean, that is just, it's too perfect. We like to call him smart guy just to kind of go along with the theme of positivity here in this show. So stupid idiot, aka smart guy, congratulations, you a winner. You are the first one here.
Yeah.
I can't believe that's our first winner. Let's go.
Robert Walker.
Okay.
Nice.
Robert Walker, you are our second winner. Let's pick our third. Spinner never wins the spin. You shot a 70 on Sunday. You beat everybody in here. That's all I'm gonna say. I hope you win this right here. Zoheb A is a winner. Zoheb A. So there you go. Stupid Idiot, aka Smart Guy, Zoheb A, and Robert Walker. You folks are awesome. Let me get that over to Gil. I would like, Gil did ask for those YouTube profiles here. So let me check with him real quick. Yep. Confirm. Our things match. Let's roll. Gil, let me know what else you need us to do here. Thank you, and thank Michael, and thank your team for everything that you do here to support our stream. It was just so you guys know, when we had that whole fiasco with ads, one of the things we said is, hey, look, we got people like Trade the Pool that help sponsor. Like, let's keep the environment ad free. So I'm going to give you some credit for that too. Trade the Pool, Gil, and Michael, and your entire team. Okay, let's get back to the action here. Sorry about that. I just get really excited when we give stuff away.
Back to the shadows. Goodbye.
Oh, we'd all be lucky enough to have the sense of humor that Alyssa has. I'll tell you that much, man. It's always a pleasure. Okay, thank you, folks. Thank you.
So far, SPY not able to really get up to 550. I know that Lion Atlas was mentioning a lot that there was, I think it was Lion Atlas was mentioning it, that 550 had some pretty stiff resistance. So far, that seems to be the case. Seeing some Fed comments here, this makes me laugh. Models indicate interest rates are likely to be higher than pre-pandemic levels going forward. So I don't remember them being very high before the pandemic. I think they were like, what, 2.5? Is that about right? I need some reminder. But yeah, I'd say that that's probably going to be the case.
Real quick here, Aramis was asking, is anyone buying the pullback on Cing, ticker CING? So Aramis, this is a really good question because we did trade down to this 4 level. So 13, you said not yet. What is the level that you have identified?
Well, I think if this is going to continue to trade down, then the first area that I would even consider to buy for a bounce would be at 325. Next after that would be 265. But this isn't the kind of thing you want to call the bottom in, because remember, as I pointed out earlier, this company needs to raise money. So make sure that you're not continuing to just add and add and add until you get yourself into a situation where you're just holding a huge bag. GNLN, by the way, that is in a halt right now.
Which direction halt? Oh, downside.
Up and then down. It went back to start, basically. Well, not really start. Actually dropped out of the gate, and then that's where we're at now.
Okay.
Down where we opened.
Jay Spinner actually mentioning IWM pulled back here. Looks like, what? SPY moving higher here. Q's moving higher here.
550 in SPY. We're through it now.
Here's your Q's going higher here. Boy, so that SQQQ, that is just not working. Not working. Thank God we stopped out of that yesterday. Yikes. That was no bueno. This market, no pullbacks.
It is quite relentless.
Christopher, you were playing hockey in the morning. That is amazing. Hopefully you played well. And what position do you play? Lion Atlas, we had a nice little pop on FMC out of the gate. That pulled back here, but that actually looking all right. Apple, by the way, folks, trading up towards the highs on Apple.
Yeah, Lion Atlas, that's I didn't want to say it's a great point, but it is worth considering that we could wake up one day and there's going to be some major escalation of conflict somewhere, whether it be over in Ukraine and Russia war or with the Middle East. I can tell you right now that Iran has made threats to attack Israel if those Gaza talks that are actually taking place right now in Qatar don't end up going Hamas's way, or if Israel appears that they're trying to delay or whatever the situation is. If it's not going the way for Hamas, they are going to attack Israel. That's what Iranian officials have said. We'll have to wait and see if that actually comes to fruition. But things are still pretty hot over there. And to your point, Lion Atlas, that could be what we wake up to one day is that attack unfolding.
So basically what I heard there is that if the terrorists don't get their way, they're going to do more terror. Got it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Got it.
So, business as usual.
kind of what it feels like. CYTO, we'll see if that moves through the VWAP here. Sing, setting up for maybe a VWAP takeout.
I don't know.
Maybe.
We need the volume needs to be better than this.
Yes, smart guy. Yes, here, let me give you the email. Please email the screenshot of your it's easy. He's not asking for much here. Take a screenshot of your YouTube profile. So basically just making sure that that person is who they say they are. You can email that screenshot to Gil. His email is in the chat. Appreciate you. Appreciate you.
Yeah, no, Carmen, you're right. It's not that he doesn't want peace. There's an incentive for Netanyahu to continue this war, as there is an incentive for Hamas to continue this war. I believe neither one of the sides want to deal with these peace talks. They're doing it because the rest of the world is trying to encourage them.
Yeah, it hasn't worked. I mean,
they don't want this because they both have incentives to continue this war. Netanyahu wants to continue it not because of, you might think it's for one thing, but it's actually because he's trying to remain in power, and his the conservatives in their government are keeping him there because he's doing what he's doing. If there is a peace deal, they will oust him. So he's got an incentive to continue with this war. Hamas, on the other hand, has an incentive to continue this war because they have been getting a lot of great PR, as a result of this. Just look at the campuses in our own state, our own country here. That's what they are completely after. So that chaos is what Hamas is after, and the chaos that Israel is after is to destroy Hamas. Neither side has any incentive to continue these talks. I'm pretty sure these are going to fail.
I think you're probably right. Really quickly, back to the market here. Did fill a starter on that bros swing. So I'm actually trading bros to the long side here for the gap and the move above the 200-day. I went small because I'm trying to front run that 200-day a little bit there on bros, but I am trading the October 35 call. The October 35 call. So starter position there, looking to add. Let's see if we come back in a little bit here on bros. Paid 110 for that first tranche. Okay. Boom. Boom. That is bros.
MSTR, SEC approved. What did they?
This recently split.
I don't have. Well, I guess it should be all Bitcoin names that are going to go if that's what SEC approved. Was the leverage ETF. Looks like CleanSpark is doing well. What is Bitcoin at right now?
Bitcoin futures here under 59,700.
Yeah, it's trying to push up into that 59,005 area. If it gets that, it might get 60.
Robert, big time move there. Big time move there.
Just kind of looking around, seeing what's going. It seems like we've really slowed down.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if there's any of those other stocks that we were looking at from this morning. See, Walmart still kind of hanging out in that range. Sorry, what was that?
Sing is still trying to turn around, but it has not recaptured VWAP, and I think that's the big issue for it right now.
How about ASML? This was this Jay liked this. This took the next Jay's life. Sorry, this actually did take the next leg up. Robert, you love this one, right? I know, Robert, you're saying you're having a huge count is up almost 40% on the day. Wow, that's a monster day. You are trading ASML, Robert? I can't remember.
I recall that he was. Hope I'm not wrong about saying that.
I sold. Right. No, he said he sold most of it, so he booked gains on it. That's what I want to hear, Robert. That's what I want to hear.
Sing trying to push through VWAP right now, so we didn't need to wait for that level to add. It's just decided, you know what, that was a big enough knife. Let's turn around and try to push up. Still got to close above it, and we've got about 2 minutes left in this 5-minute candle. So we'll see if we can even do that.
What else
Still
are you
has-
guys trading? 6G BTC.
Right
Zipping
now,
around here.
it's saying AMD and Nvidia is still going strong. And, you know, I think that we're going to probably end up seeing Nvidia continue to run into their earnings, which is going to be on August 28th. I'm kind of on this the mindset that this whole yen carry trade is just coming back on with some investors that are doing it, risking a lot, thinking that the Fed is not going to cut this year and the Bank of Japan isn't going to raise. But there's a part of me that's like, well, this is interesting because they're probably sticking with this yen carry trade in order to take advantage of Nvidia's run up into earnings, and maybe even AVGO. Both of those report earnings before the next Fed and Bank of Japan decision, which is going to be on the 18th and 19th, respectively. So it's, you know, it could be, could very well be that. I don't know for sure, but it's just an interesting thing that I'm seeing right now, and it's trying to connect the dots. Is GNLN going to turn around?
What's that?
Well, it's down at 14.29 right now. Looks like it's trying to put in a bit of a bottom. It has a wick down there with the other one from this the open at 13.64. For me, I think GNLN would be more of a better buy once it recaptures VWAP. While it's still underneath there, there's always a potential for that to go lower. So let's get a recapture of VWAP first, and then we can talk about how high it's going to go.
Apple kind of slowed down. VIX just absolutely melted again. VIX into a 15 handle. How low is the VIX going to go before we bounce?
Maybe 13.
What?
Maybe 13.
I mean, man, oh man, no pullbacks allowed. None.
Fastest move down to, you know, basically under 20 after hitting 60. I don't think there's ever been a time in the VIX that I could find where we had that kind of that move that quick to 60 and then back to 20 in what, like a week or two? Never
just
seen that
several sessions. Before. Yeah, it's just wild stuff. We've been talking and us. I mean, we've been talking to other veterans that said the same thing. 13.
Yeah. So Singh rejected at VWAP. This is I was a little concerned about and didn't want to say, oh yeah, it's going to go. But this is where I was a little concerned about. We need to get back above VWAP for Singh to continue going higher. But at the moment, it still looks like it's going to try to staircase down unless it gets some more volume to push it back up.
Here you go, getting some more confirmation on 13 being awesome. Also, Amanda here, guys bought $100 ARM call for June 1 week ago. Things up. This actually just goes to show you that when you have small options positions, it is nothing to turn your nose up at. Lots of money can be made. Amanda, I'm looking at the chart here, and look at this. Look at that. I know that this traded down to 100 here, but wow, what a bounce off that 200 day that we talk about all the time. Glad to see you're banking on that one. Give you a register ring. Let us know when you close that. What was the ticker, 13?
Kenny Riddle mentioned TPST was going. This actually getting some late in the morning news on successful end of phase 2 meeting. They have apparently agreement for a pivotal phase 3 study plan. So it's looking pretty good here in terms of their clinical trials. And then with this one, I go to their balance sheet and income statement and see what they've got. 31 million in cash. That's not bad. They chip away at about 8 to 10 million of that every quarter. So they have at least a few quarters of runway. I don't think they'll be needing to raise cash. Their float's 20 million. They're above $1. Looking okay. It's like this looks like it's a good, at least decent enough to trade. So where you're not going to get a big knife as a result of raising cash. They also got a little bit of short interest too. 11.25% with 4 days to cover. Looking pretty good. I don't know how high this goes, but it looks like it's going to push higher, like it could. So,
boom. TPST. See if it gets above that 170 high that it is putting in.
Good mention.
Indeed. This levels here probably 170, 181, 188 maybe. Let's see where we go. It's been a good morning. You folks, I tell you what, man, the energy when we give stuff away is just so intoxicating and awesome.
Everybody loves free stuff.
Everybody loves free stuff. And by the way, for all you viewing on Twitter, when we do giveaways, the chatting is only done through the YouTube chat. So don't be afraid to pop on over there, toss a 1 in the chat.
Seeing some
You can play too.
mention from Crow. I'm sorry, he's right next to Crow. Easy Mike, sorry. Natty Gas Storage 1030. I think he's referring to Boyle, which is really moving up this morning. Because we were talking about that yesterday. We like the natural gas play, especially next year. I don't think it's going to be limited to an administration thing, but I think the export controls, regardless of who's in office, may end up getting lifted next year, especially since the whole deal with Ukraine and Gazprom, which is Russia's, I think they're pretty much a state-owned entity. Their deal with natural gas pass-through into the European Union, that ends at the end of this year. And they have not, and Ukraine will not renew. So unless there's another route that Russia is going to take to get natural gas to Europe, I think natural gas export controls will be lifted in the U.S. to help supply that, and that could be a lucrative thing. That's guessing right now, so don't bank on it, but do your research. These are some of the things that are happening in Ukraine. They will not renew that that pipeline contract at the end of the year. So if you're playing natural gas, it's something to look into.
Good morning, Sid. Great to see you.
Yeah, and Easy Mike, if you're thinking the same thing I am, then yes, natural gas is going to be a huge moneymaker.
Jay Rice, I know that you mentioned the trade desk earlier. TTD, remember, this is one that we've been talking about for a possible swing long above 100. We are printing above 100 here. We definitely want to see where this closes here today. Let me ask you, Jay, do you like this name? I can't remember. We've talked about a bunch of names, and I can't remember if this is one that you like, that you trade, or anything like that. Would love to hear what you think on TTD, the trade desk. Lumen broke down, was not able to get above that double top that we identified earlier, and kind of broke down here. Or well, came back in. I shouldn't say broke down. I shouldn't say that. It came back in here a little bit. AMPG, is this really what you had me look at? This $1 stock with no volume? Ashan? Say it ain't so, Ashan. Tell me that was the wrong ticker, and we didn't just waste our time with this. Please.
Well, they had earnings, but it's not really moving. I don't even have a reading on what this is trading at right now. 98 cents.
Cisco reported earnings that actually took the next leg higher here. What was interesting on this one here on Cisco is that we broke above that 200-day. Now it looks like we're trying to push away from that. As long as it holds this 48.64, I think we're probably in good shape here on Cisco data center angle on this one.
CYTO, that one's starting to move up now. This one could get going even more. It's got to get through a bunch of sell orders, especially from the pre-market. We're getting through trying to work our way through some consolidation right now, but looks like at about 126, it might get going a little bit better.
I want to buy this, but I have a little smoked tuna. I know smoked tuna is not here, but I have a little one on my shoulder that's yelling, "Don't buy the strength, buy the weakness instead." And I'm like sitting here watching CYTO go through the VWAP. I'm like, kind of want to add here, but nah. Jay, appreciate you answering this question here. TTD, not here. I'd be trimming. It's a name I feel fairly confident buying the pullback on. Don't forget it was mid-80s last week. That's exactly why I was asking you, because initially wanted to see this breakout from 100, but then we pulled back severely, bounced super nicely off that 200-day. That's that 80 print that you were talking about. This does feel like kind of an extended run here. Yeah, let me know if that changes here. I'll be honest, that I've looked at this several times, but I've never really got that entry trigger that I felt good about. Never. Not one time.
Sing trying to push through VWAP again. It could push through at this time if the volume continues to expand. It's really the big thing that it needs right now is enough volume to push through, and it can get back up to the high 4 handle and make that move up to the 556 and trying for it. Volume's going to be the big thing here with CING.
Looks like it's coming back in a little bit here, finding some resistance at that VWAP.
Yeah. GOVX may have found a bottom. It looked like it was trying to. I'll still say that it is, but I think it looks more sideways right now. I really do want to see this one get back up to its VWAP, or at least show some strength that it's going to return to its VWAP. there could be a good return to VWAP trade there, but the volume just doesn't look great at the moment on GOVX.
Sing does look like it's trying to go here. I just took I'm going to try the same thing here. Just took a starter. I'm going to see if this comes back in towards 440.
Okay, it's got a lot of sell orders to get through up here.
Yep, that's what I'm thinking. I'm going to do this at 440. We'll see if we get an ad there. And if we break this support, okay, we did. So we're 200 long here. See if we pop back up here and move through that VWAP. We pull down, maybe I'll just reset this.
Oh, no problem, Gerald. Jay Rice saying SMCI ding ding 602. What is what happened?
SMCI is ripping. That's what's going on.
Is that what's
here.
happening? Okay.
Yeah. Well, it was earlier. Let's see if we break this. We broke it on Sing. We fell out here. Okay. So we want to see if we break down through this area, 417. We're going to have to probably stop. But let's see if we can maybe get another ad here and then curl back up. That's what I'm waiting for here in Sing.
I'm curious to see if SMCI gets up to the 650. And if it does, it's looking like it could test the 200-day SMA. The 200-day SMA is going to be a big question mark for me with SMCI. If it cannot get back over that, we're going to death cross this going.
Here, let me bring it up real quick while we wait for Sing to come in a little bit here. 13. Remember when we talked about IWM this morning and I said, so what do we trade? Is SMCI today?
Yes, because we were talking about risk being on.
Yeah.
We're talking SMCI. Here goes Sing. It's pushing now. Here we go. We're getting to some of that volume expansion.
Here we go. We want to see this break through 460 here.
Yeah, it did get a close over VWAP. Now it needs to hold that, and it's got to get through this consolidation that it put in this morning between.
Let's go right here, right here. Pop this for us. Pop this for us.
Come on, like the market zit.
Oh, geez, 13. You didn't even have to go there.
Well, I'm almost. I'm about to raise teenagers now, so we're getting there on that front.
I don't even know what to say about that. Here we go. 460 up here. Let's blow through this. Let's blow through this and get a spike that we can sell into. Want to sell into that volume.
It's working through this consolidation that we put in this morning. It's going to be between like 450 and 480 ish. But it looks like you could get that push through here in another few minutes, maybe 4 minutes.
Here we go. 460 up and through.
Oh, that one out.
There we go. There we go.
I'll just stop talking and let it do its thing.
There we go. Let it sing, baby. Let it sing.
See, you're not the only one. Or I'm not the only one that can make jokes.
No, man. We're having a great day here. We're happy as clams. We're happy as clams. Oh, do we sell this at 469 for the lulls? Is that what we do?
You could. And
no, see, I want to get out before it gives everything back. Don't give everything back here.
This thing is like, oh, you got jokes, right?
Oh, I got some, dude. Come on.
Amanda. Yeah,
okay, I'm taking it before I have to take a loss. We are not taking losses today. We are 3 for 3.
Nice
scalps. Oh, that was called perfectly. Should have sold to that first rush. Didn't have enough there to feel like I need to sell that.
CYTO, this one's doing better as well. This one's been trading above its VWAP for the past like half hour now. Getting up to
which one? Which Cyto. Yeah, okay. Guys, let me know if Sing goes crazy here. If we just got stopped out on that pullback there. Let me know.
Yeah, no, you're right, Amanda. They are gonna, be the major refrigerators of the household. That used to be me. Now it's gonna be them. BSCO trying to push into new highs. Excuse me. 2418 is the intraday high right now. VSME, this thing has been sideways all morning. I don't know if there's going to be anything happening here at the moment, but it'll choose a direction eventually.
Robert, real quick here. Robert, it sounds like you're having an amazing day. So we're going to roll through all of the different sound effects for you. Congratulations, Robert. You've been really on top of things. You've been active in the morning. You've been active at night. Really good to see hard work get rewarded, my man.
Robert's a machine, and he's here at live trading. He's here at happy hour. He's here at happy hour too. He's a big part of the community. We love Robert.
Yes.
Lumen actually pushing over BLAP.
Oh, right, where's Rodrigo at? He was never mind. Rodrigo will probably get excited when we break through this $5.90 to $6 level. That would be that double top breakout that we'd be kind of looking for here on Lumen.
Yeah, Robert, I bet you sleep like a baby.
Yeah. Yeah, that's that good sleep. That's that good sleep. We're going to get one of those days today. That is for sure.
CYTO coming back in.
I'm still looking around at some stuff.
SPY down beneath 550 again.
ASML holding higher here. Not breaking down. TPST getting mentions here. TPST right to 2. Is it going to, okay, big size here at 2. They're taking it and through. Here we go. TPST.
Wow.
All of you folks that are on TPST, take a bow and ring that register. Can You Riddle says, look at TPST again. Bro, it's on screen, Picard style, baby. Let's go.
Boyle with a little bit of pullback. Maybe this is either the turnaround or it just taking a break before it goes higher. If it starts dropping below 1070, then it might be, the top for the moment.
BCAB getting mentioned. I did notice that this is on the scanner. This moving a little higher here.
What is this?
BCAB.
Another biotech? Yeah, it looks like it. Antibody-based therapeutics for the treatment of solid tumor cancer. What's the news?
Daniel Torres, yes, Apple maybe a 225 break on deck here. I see size. I see size at 225, bruh.
So another 13F filing show that Michael Burry has a stake, or his Scion Capital Management has a stake in BCAB. That's why it's moving.
I believe per Crow, Michael Burry is long BABA as well.
He's betting big on China.
Ooh, JD part of that maybe? Baidu part of that maybe? Look at how all these stocks are higher.
Yep. And Linus, we'd love to have you there too.
Jay Rice, it's a bull market. Even Baba went green. Lion, we understand, man. We understand. Actually, part of the reason why we have shows at different times throughout the course of the day is so that multiple people can make it based on their varying schedule, because you're never going to be able to accommodate everybody. But what has been so great to see is that people that go into one often want to go into more, and in some cases are able to do that. And that is really awesome to see. So you don't worry. You're here. You're already part of the community right in here, bro. Namaste.
Yeah, and we'll try to bring as much relevant information out of that happy hour here.
I share, and I'm open. And 13, you can vouch for this. When we get on happy hour, I talk about the live trading crew. And when I get on live trading, I talk about the happy hour crew, which 13's a part of. He talks about it too. We always try to share. We try to raise the tide for everybody, no matter what it is.
There's always something to be learned from
always the goal.
Yeah. Well,
always
it seems like there's a big sorry to interrupt you. There seems like there's just a big slowdown in trading right now. I mean, Sing is sideways at the moment. Lumen trying to decide if it got over this 583 level that I had marked off here, so that's encouraging. But I think to your point, we want to see this get up and over 595, maybe even break the intraday high at 597. Get up to 6. That's kind of what we want to see in Lumen, is getting up to 6. But remember, this thing has a large float, so it's very hard to move that supply.
Oh, big shouts here. Don't forget the happy hour chat room sums up pretty much everything if you can't do the Zoom. Indeed, that's true, Amanda. And we communicate and share ideas there throughout the day. So even when there's no show, there's still content happening here. By the way, Sing, sorry about that. Sing, this came back in. So we were talking about those levels. We took this is why I wanted to make sure I didn't give all that back. It came back in. Now, the question is, 420 is currently providing some support. Big shout out, Wisdom, 420, smoking blunts. Okay, But do we actually move through the VWAP and get another upside trade here? Remember what I said this morning about how sometimes in the morning we get some of these head fakes. This really kind of feels like GNLN, right? Remember, I got stopped out of that one for a loss because it came back in. We didn't do that here on Sings. We already did that a little bit better. I'm going to keep this one at least on the back burner here because maybe later today we get that extended move, CING.
Yeah, and to your point about GNL, and remember we were just asked about it not too long ago if it could recover, and it did recover up to the VWAP a little bit, and it came right back in, and now we're back to where it was trading at that the time of the question. So GNL, and it's already shown how it makes moves in the morning, and it makes some moves in the middle of the day, and big moves at the end of the day. So for GNL, and if we're going to see some of those big moves, that we're going to have to wait a little bit.
Gambling.com. Ticker GAMB highs.
Oh, I was about to say, yeah, this market is a casino.
Oh, okay.
But then you started saying it was a company. I was like, oh.
Then you just started babbling.
Whoops.
So Line Atlas, I'm going to highlight this. Even though there's a profanity in here, I'm still going to highlight it. I love this chat and Ryan and 13. I come across other shows and I leave them in less than 10 minutes. I can't stand people that are full of shit for you Scarface fans out there. You guys are real and humble. And I'll say this,
I like Campbell because I do like pork.
That's wonderful. The one thing that I will say, I mean, look, there are a million shows out there, and I can tell you that me, 13, and the rest of the Benzinga crew, even Alyssa back in the shadows back there, we appreciate that you choose to spend your time with us. One of the things that we try to do in return is try to give you something that's a little bit different. I mean, like I've said a number of times, if you want people that are just YOLOing tens of thousands of dollars into short dated options to try and get their Lamborghini on the weekend, there's a Discord out there for you. But that's not what we're going to do here. We're going to try and take a different approach here. And one of the things that you'll see here, look, we're trying to go through different ways of trading and different ideas and different things that we see. And we're trying to help install that process, and being humble is a part of that process. So I appreciate that you even say that in the chat. And also 13 and I are also open to feedback, right? So if you want to see something different, we're not totally against that. Let us know. And if we can accommodate it, we will. Appreciate you. Appreciate all of you.
And Lion Atlas, we're still trying to, figure out how we want to best work in the different market sectors that we want to talk about ahead of like maybe SPY and things like that. Because you had asked about that. So it is something that we are considering and figuring out how we want to incorporate into this, because we already do the movers and looking at the SPY. We just need something that more reliable for us to look at, like a heat map. And we'll probably use we're working on one with Pro. So the things that you're looking for are coming. Got to mention though, this ASTS is just absolutely on fire today, and it's crazy to me because it's moving higher on news that has been out for, I think, weeks. It's got the latest headline here that came out about 13 minutes ago. AST Space Mobile shares are trading higher after the company said its first 5 commercial satellites are on target for orbital launch in the first half of September. That's old news. We knew that. Now this is the news. It's new. It's UBS maintaining a buy and raising the price target to 30. And I think even Jay Rice had mentioned that $30 call options that expire tomorrow are also getting bought up, which is crazy. Because if this goes over 30 tomorrow, that's going to be insane. And maybe we might want to consider taking that trade.
So just to kind of add some more stuff here. I'm going to put this on screen real.
He's got more information on that too.
Option flow causing squeeze. Okay, so here, read this comment here. Tesla short. I'm glad someone got that comp. I'll be honest with you. I was unsure as that one was coming out if people were going to get that. I seem to be one of the only psychos that really like Scarface. But in any case, I'm glad that you got that. And hopefully you had a laugh on your face. Real quick regarding ASTS here. So what I did is here in the bottom of the screen here, it might be difficult for you to see, and I'm sorry about that. I filtered the unusual option activity for ASTS. And I'm seeing a number of things in here that are pretty big. There was a sweep here, the 35 call that expires September 20th of this year. Trader came in here, bought 1,142 of those contracts, spent almost $183,000 on that single option position. There's been a ton of flow in here. A 121 order, that is for the January 2025 expiry. The one this weekend, or excuse me, the one tomorrow that you guys were just talking about, 24 call sweep, 189 contracts. Trader spent 30 grand there. Another September 20th one. Looks like they were buying that in legs. The January, there's a lot of flow here. Jay's absolutely right. There is a lot of flow here in ASTS. Maybe this does go higher. I'm not going to hold this overnight. I can't buy plus 25% stocks on a day to hope that it gaps up tomorrow. But for you folks that have really kind of been on this, I mean, look at this. Just this move. Like, look at this chart. And here, and this is actually a really good representation. You can see that it spikes and then it trades sideways. Then it might come back in a little bit. Then it spikes and it trades sideways. Drifts sideways, spikes sideways. Spikes. So what are we going to have next? Sideways, maybe. So wait for that consolidation area before adding that here. Okay. Rant over.
Looks like Airship is trying to get back off the ground. It's curling at the moment.
It's no longer grounded.
Yeah, it's making a move up to VWAP, and if we can get over VWAP, this looks like it could get going at least to 305, maybe more. Yeah, I know, Amanda. I don't think.
Look, if you still have a trailer on from 4 in the 20s,
yeah,
you did all right. You did fine.
You might be doing okay.
You might know what you're doing.
Yeah, I think we didn't get enough due diligence on ASTS because
I didn't for sure. I will admit that right now. For sure, I did not. I poo-pooed it, and I'm being punished.
But I mean, I feel like I covered it at least halfway decently because we already knew about that September launch. We just didn't get that first week of September launch thing. So I guess that's the only new piece of information. But we knew it was going to be in September with their latest news they had about a week ago. But yeah, I think that's going to be a really, really big benefit to AT&T and Verizon. We'll see how that pans out because they are invested in that as well as a number of other companies too.
Lumen here, by the way, this popped and pulled back to the VWAP. This actually might set up for another move higher here. We'll see. We shall see. BCAB, this is still going high. Let's check in on Clove. So look at that. Clove, this was strong, pulled back through the VWAP, actually came down to one of the levels that it was trying to trade sideways at yesterday, I believe. Excuse me, my goodness, yeah. T, what are you doing to me? But yeah, right in here from this lunch hour where it kind of traded sideways, that is actually acting as the support here today. Now we've taken out the VWAP. So let's see here if maybe there's another move higher here. Ticker CLOV. Nvidia's hitting. Sorry, go ahead, 13.
Oh, with Clove, yeah, I think what we need to see is that that high recaptured. I would say at the very least 260 needs to get recaptured. Otherwise, I do think we could see some more downside. But let's get back above 260, and then we can revisit Clove and see how high we can go.
Okay.
One call.
Sing broke down. Sing broke down. Yeah, it did. Yes, it did. And you know what? So shout out to you because you've really kind of been watching the sideways area. This level actually goes back to the pre-market, and you just called it right here. We kind of dipped out of this. Now, the one thing I will say is we're not seeing that volume candle, that red selling volume candle that sometimes builds and really kind of drives this thing down. But you're absolutely right. That level is broken. To me at this point, again, man, I am surprised I got out of this one with a gain. I know it was a very small gain, but I'm surprised because this thing pulled back and actually gave me another chance to get out of there. Know the environment when you're scalping. This is going to need to show some strength. I know I told you to put this on the back burner. You can still leave it there. Maybe it'll firm up, but I don't think we have an opportunity at the moment. Good stuff, by the way. Really good stuff. Chat's doing it again.
Very consistent, this chat.
Yeah, very consistent is right.
I don't know what he's saying. OPTX could be setting if volume comes in for the big. I'll take a look at OPTX. See what we get with this. Oh, okay.
Comp added. So let me bring up Tesla here. Let me see what's going on here. Comp, I'm going to try and figure out what you're saying here. Okay, added hard on Tesla, this thick joke. So are you, when you say added, like is your trade working because this thing's just ripping and you're kind of adding into that strength and trading it higher and higher, or are you looking for a reversal here? The one thing I will say, if you are looking for a reversal, we actually ran into the intersection of two of these moving averages. So I actually wouldn't be surprised if Tesla kind of takes a break here. You're short. Okay, so you're looking for this to maybe kind of roll back over here. This is a spot where maybe it does that, but be careful, man. Be careful on that one. Ripping my sad face off. I'm sorry for chuckling because of the way that you put that. That's not funny. I hope that it doesn't. Hopefully you're able to get this one, my man.
So I'm looking at OPTX. I'm curious about it. It certainly sounds interesting in the description, but I can't exactly say what the company does. It seems like they make micro components, but I don't know what their overall their focus is. Like, I don't know what their industry, where they fit in the industry. Is this like a behind the thing for laser components? Is that what I'm seeing here? Help me out with OPTX. See, who was it that mentioned it?
Vertically integrated from design component manufacturing, lens system assembly to imaging module integration.
Yeah, Jonathan Cooper mentioned it. Help me out here, Jonathan. What is this company actually making components for? It's interesting. I just can't wrap my head around exactly what they do. Seems like it would be in either like it said in the description, either imaging. But when I see the different components that are that's describing it, makes me think. So I'm on their website right now. Here, I think I can do this. Yeah, I can. So here's their website. So on their website, it looks like they're involved in a number of things. I was just right from the homepage. Yeah. And I see that, the US soldier here with the nods on. And it looks like they're making the optical device for this and the optical components. Interesting. They also make some of the mechanical components. Light sensors and things for space industry. So, okay. So maybe we've got a military angle here. We have a consumer. Yeah. Yes. Here. This. Oh, if I just needed to keep scrolling and they were going to tell me consumer defense and medical. Yeah. Exactly. That's for what I was trying to do. That's interesting. Okay. So you see what that is right there with the medical? You swallow that. Okay. And that's going to pass through your entire GI system. Thankfully, you swallow it. Could be worse than that. Okay. I'm done. Okay. So, yeah. That looks like one of the, because I've been hearing about these, about how they've been making these little capsules with cameras in them, where you put them in your body, you ingest them, and it takes up images and video and pictures as it's going through for what are those? I'm trying to think of what the your GI doctor. What is? Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. Gastroenterologist. Something like, yeah, it's used in that field, I believe. But if that's what I'm seeing here, that's super interesting. And now you've got me, Jonathan. Now I want to do a little bit more research in this. Okay, so you've hooked 13, so look out, because who knows what's going to happen now. And nice little venture into the unknown there. Market, by the way, just a little check-in on the market. We got green arrows across the board. Green arrows across the board. In fact, here, I got something else for you, I think. Oh no, it loaded my other say it. Nope. Not gonna break down here. Not gonna give in to the temptation. Well, speaking of breaking down, the opposite is happening with CYTO here. This is actually trying to test the intraday highs right now on a pretty good green candle. We'll see if it can break that. Yep. Who was this that was waiting for this one to move away from the VWAP? You're getting your move now. Good patience for if you stayed in that. And real quick here, we're going to do a real quick market update. This is what I was trying to do earlier, but I didn't have it ready. Here you go. You have a good day when the market looks like this.
right? Good day when the market looks, oops. Let me actually edit this a little bit. Let's delete. Boop, boop, boop. And then we're going to add the Dow in here. Boom, boom. Look at this sea of green. Healthcare. UNH kind of jumps off the page as being down the most. Mondelez, Pepsi, T-Mobile. Look at the amount of green out here, really kind of being led by Walmart. There's a sea of green. When your heat maps look like this, generally speaking, we out here having a good day.
Wally and S here with a good question about stops.
All right, let's put it on screen here. Guys, still a very newbie trader here. Welcome, Wally. You're in a good spot because we got a lot of people that'll help you here. I set stop losses at 10%, but I find myself being stopped out too quickly. Would love to know how to best set stop losses. Okay, first thing I'm going to tell you here is that the type of trade that you're doing is going to play a large role in this. And then there's also going to be an X factor here, and that's going to be your personal risk level, which nobody here in the chat, neither nor myself or 13 can do for you. You're going to have to figure that part out on your own. However, what I like to think about stops here is I like to, if I get my entry correct and my entry's around a support level, I like to keep my stop tight a lot of the time, especially on shorter term trades right beneath that support level. So here, let's use this, what's on screen, as an example. Okay, let's say I'm setting up a day trade here, and I get entry right here on the VWAP. Well, that's a support level, and clearly it's acting as a support level. So I might set my stop maybe a little bit beneath it so that if we kind of like test that level and maybe trade beneath it, I don't get flushed out of my stop. If this is a swing trade, though, I wouldn't have that aggressive of a stop because I might very well get stopped out. This is a swing trade. I'm going to change my time horizon. I'm going to change my position size, and I'm going to change my stop. And I might think to myself, well, maybe low of day is a potential stop out because it gives everything back, but maybe yesterday's level would be a potential stop down there. Now that, let's see, I can't really see these numbers. So let me make sure I'm not saying something that's really stupid given the example here. We're at $1.30. So a stop here at 92 cents, you're looking at what, maybe 40 cents there. It's about 50% of the equity. You got to tell me if that's going to work for your trade plan. I'm not sure if it will. If it's a longer term trade, a lot of times I will stretch my stop out. In some cases, like my investment thesis for Apple that I've been holding since 2014, I don't have a stop set. I don't have a stop set. Part of that is because it's split adjusted and my cost basis is like $20 at this point now. Stock's 200. What am I going to do? Stop out if this thing moves back on me 20 points? No. So a lot of this depends on the trade itself. It's a case-by-case basis. But 13 or anyone else in the chat, if you have some general rules that you want to go over here with setting stops, I think that Wally might benefit from that.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. It's going to vary from trade to trade, and some trades are going to move much quicker. So your stops you might have tighter. Because if you remember, you got to remember that a stop is essentially going to ultimately be a market order. So when you trigger that stop, it's going to send a market order to get you out the next available price, and that could be much lower than where your stop is. You have to kind of consider at the time that you're putting your stop in, how much of a loss are you willing to take? I think that's what you got to consider whenever you're doing a stop at all. Is how much am I willing to take before? How much of a loss am I willing to take before I want this stop to get me out of here? And that's going to, like Brian said, that's going to vary from stock to stock. As a 10% move could be very, very small in a penny name, and it could be very, very big in something that's like over $10. So it's going to be on a case by case basis, and it's going to be about how much you're willing to lose on that trade. It's some other considerations you have to make. And also, when a trade's doing really well and you're still not sure how high it's going to go, then you're going to raise your stop. So yeah, case by case basis, I think is probably the best line out of what Ryan's explanation was. That's and it's going to take it's going to also be about how much pain you're willing to endure. And they've got a lot of really good comments here in the chat.
Yeah, so fine saying I like your show, fellas, but sometimes you go on a tangent away from stock talk. Yes, that is by design. That is definitely what we are trying to do here.
And we try to
bring it back, though. Yeah,
We try to keep it on the trading as much as possible, especially in the morning. But when it slows down like it has been, we can start, having these other discussions, especially when it comes to new traders that are really looking to, get into this.
Yep. Speaking of which, though, what are you folks looking at here? What is the market did kind of change here, kind of slowed down a little bit. By the way, Wally, tons of really good stuff here from our community to maybe help you with some of those stuff. So dig in.
Yeah, the market does love round numbers. That's absolutely right.
Yeah. Some people call these Livermore levels. I think someone in the chat mentioned this the other day, like $100, generally speaking, a Livermore level. Those round numbers absolutely sometimes behave as their own support and resistance.
The psych numbers.
Psych numbers. I like that.
Psych numbers, because they're psychological levels. It's satisfying to see a number that's just like a single digit with a bunch of zeros behind it. Something satisfying about that.
Very, ticker VERI. This at a potential spot here. This is right at yesterday's intraday highs. We're either going to break down from that or we're going to come back in. Comp SRX1, SPY short on.
VSME.
Excuse me. He said SPX. I don't want to misquote him. That's my bad. He said SPX short on Tesla, dithering to short. I hope. We'll see here on the SPY. We'll see if this moves down here. This has had strength all day here today. How are the Qs doing? Do they have that same strength? I bet they do. Sure does.
Lumen slowly pushing as well. We've got the biggest volume candle we've had since 9:45. So since 15 minutes out of the open. It's the biggest volume candle we've got in Lumen right now. That's helping push it up towards the 6 handle.
DXYZ going here. Jay, you dipped your toe in this. Put a small order, good till canceled, track it at 920. Sounds like that got filled, right? This thing, $11 here. This thing down from 100, isn't it? Yeah. I remember when Crow first brought this up. I was like, what is this?
Well, so much for that 550 level in SPY. We're knocking on the door of 551. Previous all-time high in the SPY was 551.80. So it's looking very possible like we might test that today.
That's basically only a point away from our high here today. 550.94 is our intraday high here. Nvidia getting called out in the chat. Okay. Let me make sure I'm not supposed to be doing something else here.
Nope. Trading and joking around with us is all you need to do for the next 15 minutes. Getting a mention of Triple D, Lunar, and
I love that show. Oh, sorry. Okay.
Let me see. DDD, 3D Systems, 250 home run. This is actually having some nice movement upward since opening. I don't want to make any guesses here, but 265 looks like it's on the table for negotiating upwards.
Yo. We are graced with excellence today, folks. Labos in the chat. This is a Benzinga teammate here. Andrew, it's great to see you here. We got a Trade Zero competition starting soon. First of all, thanks for joining our community here, boss. Hope that you are doing well. Folks, put your hands together for Andrew Labos, one of the stalwarts here at BZ. Andrew, good morning. It's great to see you. Shout out Guy Fieri. Someone else caught that. Vintage Tool Restorations. Look, Triple D, sometimes like I'll just need to disconnect from the world, right? Maybe I'm tired from golf or exercise, or there's crazy stuff going on in politics or whatever. And I just want to not think. And I'll sit down on the couch. I'll put my feet up. I'll be like, man, there's nothing on television. And then I'll find Guy Fieri going to diners, drive-ins, and dives across the country. And it just makes me happy. It just makes me happy. This show's awesome. And if you haven't checked it out, you should.
Anyone add to Iova under 10 yesterday? We're hearing about that one. But no, I did not. Because, hey, look at that. Looks like it's got a date with 11.
James saying cost. Ticker COST up 50% over the past year. My favorite store. Chris, take care of yourself. We'll see you later. Great stuff here today. Enjoy your day, boss. It's also another one of it, getting it done on a regular basis.
I think somebody was mentioning Ford earlier. That one, it had a really good good pop out of the open. Had another push an hour after that. And now here we are an hour after that, and we're coming back in. I'd say that your next support level is going to be 1038.
Cut.
Seems like it does need to come in a little bit more, though. The RSI on the 5-minute indicates that it has been pretty high, but this is still like coming off of a really bad drop. Man, that was ugly. Went all the way
By
down
the
to
way,
950.
trading back up.
Certainly trying to. VSME has not gotten going yet, but it's still holding up here above the VWAP at the moment. Yeah, and Sing's trying to recapture the VWAP, and Lumen is trying for 6.
Okay.
Slowly.
Folks, we are going to have an all access pretty soon. We're going to have an all access pretty soon here. So keep that in mind. And of course, we'll be back to my boy. This has been a great day. This has been a great day across the board. Across the board. Swing account doing good. Day trading account doing good. Laughs up. Vibes up. We got Jay Rice coming off around a 70. I mean, we got all types of really awesome stuff going on.
You know, Lion Atlas, I think that's a great mention to be taking profits as we go, because I'm nervous, yeah, with how we're moving up and up here with the SPY. So I agree with that. The thing about the drop coming or heading lower the rest of August and late September, I kind of feel like we're gonna maybe get a bit of selling maybe on Friday but continue to go higher next week into the and we're gonna probably keep grinding a little bit higher as we approach Nvidia earnings. Now, after Labor Day, I think we could really start to see the market selling accelerate and just get really bad. So that's kind of what I'm looking at. I'm thinking that after Labor Day, things are going to get pretty awful in the market. That's just my take on the situation right now.
Okay. All right, AB, we ready? I'm gonna bring him on. AB, I'm bringing you on, baby.
What is up, Ryan?
Tell us what we got going, boss.
Well, you know what we like to do here at Benzinga. Welcome traders and investors who have been tuning into live trading. We like to bring you exciting companies, and that's what we are doing today. We're going to be speaking to Paul Allen, the president of Airship AI, ticker AISP, trading on the NASDAQ. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get this all access started.
Sweet.
All right.
All right, Paul Allen. Oh, we got a little bit of an echo here. Try to talk a little quieter, see if that helps. How you doing today, Paul?
Great. How are you morning, Aaron?
I am good. So let's hop right into it before we get into some specific numbers. I know you guys recently released earnings. Do you mind just giving us a brief overview of what Airship AI is?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're a video data management sensor platform. So think about it as all the cameras you see out on street corners and buildings and public transportation, law enforcement, et cetera. We bring all of those cameras together. We fuse it into a single platform, and then we apply AI against it, both at the edge and at the data center or the cloud. And we help customers make sense out of all of that data coming in, and we try to give them the ability to even be predictive about maybe some things that are happening in their environment and get ahead of them if they can.
Got it. And then Airship, you guys went public via SPAC. I feel like I remember that back in the day. Can you talk about why you decided to go that route?
Yeah, absolutely. So we looked at both, the IPO route and the SPAC transaction route. And ultimately for us, we decided that the SPAC route was the better one. It was more efficient based on the timing. And really the whole jux of the cost to go public was, working on a lot of really large government transactions and deals. And we really needed that financial transparency as a public company so that the government could go look and see, all right, hey, if you're competing against some of the giant defense contractors, hey, Wall Street's vetted you. Wall Street, has shown me your financials. I'm comfortable you're going to be here today, tomorrow, and maybe next week. So if we commit resources to you, we're comfortable that you're going to be around to go execute on what we agree on.
Got it. Yeah, makes a lot of sense. So, Paul, I know Airship recently reported earnings. What was it, yesterday afternoon? Stock is trading higher today by more than 13%. You want to walk me through some of those highlights from the earnings report?
Yeah, absolutely. So look, it was a great quarter, and to your point, this is only the second quarter that we reported as a public company, so we're definitely very young, relative to the process. But we had great earnings on the revenue side, very strong margin, 70% on our number, so just at about 4.5 million of gross profit, positive operating income. So our stated goals for the year were to be triple digit year-over-year growth from a revenue perspective and to be cash flow positive as a company. So we made some significant progress against that target, just over about 30% in terms of where we're at this year in the mid cycle versus where we finished up the complete last year.
Got it. And then, Paul, we're a stock market show. I know you're probably not watching the markets as closely as we are, but small caps in general have been picking up a lot of interest here as the Federal Reserve prepares to cut interest rates, or is likely to cut interest rates. So a lot of people talking about the Russell 2000. I know Airship has recently been included in the Russell 2000. What does that mean for the company to be part of that index now?
Look, we think it's huge. We think it's recognition of not just what we're doing fundamentally as a company, but the excitement that we obviously believe that we have in front of us, with the pipeline and all the opportunities that we're working. And we think the broader market and, indexes like the Russell are recognizing that as well. So, we love the retail play. That's still the majority of the investors today in the company. But as we look to move further into the institutional space, because again, we're only 6 months into this thing, ultimately as a public company, that addition to the Russell is certainly going to give us some broader exposure to the institutional side of the market.
Got it. And then what about just the broader, it's right in the name, Airship AI. AI has been undoubtedly the story of the market the past couple of years. What are you guys seeing in terms of the increased demand for AI products and services?
Look, it's huge. And, I think depending upon what segment or what vertical you're looking at, AI can mean something very different to a lot of different folks. For us, we're very much focused on computer vision, edge object detection, analysis, and classification. So, is this a car? Is it a red car? Is it a, whatever make, model, color you want it to be? Things of that nature, rather than generative AI where, we're helping you rewrite your term paper. Those folks probably aren't the ones that are going to be looking at what we're doing. But when it comes to public safety, schools, the border, law enforcement, workplace, et cetera, that's really where our play is and where we're leveraging computer vision models, to help customers, fight some challenging scenarios that they've got. You name your scenario, whether it's seeing packages falling off of a conveyor belt, how long a vehicle's parked somewhere, how long somebody's waiting in line in a queue, going back and trying to find, hey, where did that individual wearing the black backpack come from, and how long did they stay in that area? Those are a lot of the kind of challenges that we're working on and helping our customers solve for.
Got it. Well, let's talk some recent awards. And, no, we're not talking Emmys or Grammys or anything like that, but some big money awards, 2 separate 6-figure contracts coming in June. Paul, give me some more details on those.
Yeah. So, both on the commercial side and as well on the government side, what we're seeing is, not only just this adoption of AI, both at the edge and, in the cloud and data center, but also this movement of taking workload and processing and taking it from on-premise and putting it up into the cloud. So on the government side, one of the few players in our space that supports customers operating up into the FedRAMP, medium and high level, which are the highest, most secure levels of the cloud for government workload. So a couple of those awards were that transition of third-party software over to Airship and moving it up to the cloud. And then as well on the commercial side, it's aggregation and it's fusion of consolidating, hundreds or thousands of servers onto singular platforms that, give them tremendous cost savings and efficiency from an operating side, but also make them much more efficient from an executional side.
Got it. And then, Paul, I understand a few months ago, back in May, you got to ring the bell at the NASDAQ closing bell ceremony. How was that? Tell me a little bit more about that.
Look, it was fun. I think it's, for a handful of us, it really kind of made real, all the things that we had been doing, because we've been so busy just, trying to get through the process and get our feet underneath us, get our first earnings report out, and then actually just to have something that was more fun in nature, and just celebrating the actual accomplishment of, all that it took, all the work that it took, from our team to become a public company. It was outstanding. And, I was there with the founders and a couple of our key members, and, we're certainly looking forward to going back in the near future and taking a larger group of the company, because, we have an amazing team behind us that, are making all these things happen. And, it's fun to get that chance to just celebrate and recognize the accomplishments. It's easy to get buried in the work and not take that breath and, kind of recognize how far you've come.
Yeah, certainly a goal of mine to be there at some point as well. Well, Paul, this has been great to learn more about Airship AI. Again, trading on the NASDAQ under ticker AISP. Paul, thanks for joining us on Benzinga's All Access today.
Thank you, and have a great day.
You do the same. All right, guys, that was Paul Allen, again, the president of Airship AI, ticker AISP, trading on the NASDAQ, now in the Russell 2000, which if you were watching pre-market prep, we were trading that a little bit this morning, of course. Let me bring my man Zunaid on the stream. Zunaid, how you doing this morning?
I am doing great. I am doing well. What's up, man? How's it feel to come back on the All Access side? Thank you for giving me a break. I appreciate it.
Of course, man. I love the All Access. It's fun to be able to connect directly with the executives of these exciting publicly traded companies, learning more about it from both the business and, of course, from like the retail investor perspective. Yeah. It's probably the most underrated segment we do here on our live stream, I would say.
Yeah. Well, here's what's coming up, right? We talked about the publicly traded company in terms of Airship AI. Now we're going to talk about the private sector in terms of startups that are looking to raise some funds. So we're actually going to go ahead and redirect to our first ever Startup Spotlight Showcase. Here's a quick breakdown because I got to go to that stream. Every company, 4 companies, get 10 minutes. The first 2 minutes is a 2-minute pitch for them, an elevator pitch. The last 8 minutes are judges, Nick and Chris, who are partners at Co-Founders. We'll ask them questions. At the end, Nick and Chris will give $1,250 away to one of the startups. And you, in the chat, you will have a chance to vote on a poll, and you get to decide which other startup is going to get $1,250. So it's a lot of excitement, and I would love for you to join us. One of the companies was actually on Shark Tank, and there's some cool things happening in this stream. Would love for you to join us. We'll see you there. Thank you.